Coffee has been a staple of many different cultures and regions for generations. For many, this experience has been lacking the vibrance and complexity that are at the heart of some coffee communities around the world. From the birthplace of coffee, Ethiopia, to other common regions like Costa Rica and Colombia. But sandwiched between the latter two is the small coffee-producing country of Panama, and more specifically, the area surrounding the base of a large volcano, the region of Chiriquí, wherein exists the pride of Panamanian coffee growers, Geisha Coffee. But why is Panamanian Geisha Coffee consistently breaking records at auction, even amid the COVID-19 pandemic and a looming economic crisis?
So in order to answer that question, we're going to have to talk about a little bit about the history of geisha. It was discovered in Ethiopia in the mid-30s. It was brought to Latin America in the 50s, but it wasn't planted in Panama until the mid-60s. It was rediscovered in the year 2000 at La Hacienda La Esmeralda, who cultivated the coffee, but it wasn't brought up into auction until the year 2004. And was sold for the price of $21 a pound, which at the time was 10 times higher than the average coffee cost. What's interesting about that is that 16 years later, in September 2020, the Geisha coffee was sold for a record-breaking price of $1,300. Now, normally in Taste in Panama, since we're not really experts, we would like to show you the process of making this cup of coffee from the professional industry point of view. But because of the COVID pandemic, we weren't able to do so and had to adapt to the situation. So basically what we did is that we connected with Jose at Abu Coffee right outside of Boquete, who provided us a bag of their Geisha Natural.
So why is this variety only grown in Panama? Well, that's a bit of a complicated question. This variety is grown outside of Panama. The farmers in Chiriquí have some distinct geographical advantages for the cultivation and growth of their coffee plants. They use the earth, fire, wind, and water. First, let's start with the earth. Panama Geisha is grown and cultivated on the high elevation mountain slopes of the tallest mountain and also the largest volcano of Panama, Volcan Baru. The young, rich, fertile, volcanic soils of Volcan Baru provide many nutrients required for these plants. The tropical sun shines at a near perfect consistency year-round, due to the region only being about 9 degrees north of the equator. This provides a powerful energy source for these plants. The mixed oceanic winds, moist air coming from the Atlantic flow, and the warmer moist air coming from the Pacific-driven winds out of the south combine to create the final of the four elements, the water. Now this creates a fine drizzle that coats the plants almost year-round, being that they're at a high elevation in what's called a cloud forest in the Boquete region. Now this does dry up a little bit right before harvest season, which sweetens the berries just a little bit to give it some of that characteristic sweetness, as well as some of the other more light flavors that are common in the bean. If you want to learn more about the unique elements that create the Panama Geisha, jump on over to PanamaGeishaCoffee.com. The link for that is in the description below.
We were fortunate enough to have been given the recipe by Lucia NG, a very well-known world-class barista in Panama City, who showed us the process of brewing this special coffee. Okay, well, cheers.
I guess we can actually like cheers.
Cheers. Very light. Citric. Definitely citric. It's quite different from the usual, from my usual cup of coffee every morning. Like it's I get the feeling it's going more towards almost to the tea side rather than coffee, but it's really good, very enjoyable to my taste, particularly very fruity as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of the fruity flavor too.
Yeah, very fruity, lemony notes, perhaps maybe pineapple aftertaste even. I mean, you willing to say that?
I get like a tangerine smell. I think that's kind of the citric
Yes.
thing that you're talking about.
Most
It's like
likely,
a
yeah.
tangerine.
Floral as well. Maybe some jasmine there.
I taste a little bit of the jasmine too. It's super strong. Like as soon as you take that sip,
Exactly.
and then it
The
mellows
first-
out after
Yeah,
that.
the first sip is quite strong, but then yes, that's the perfect way of saying it. That mellows out. It's really nice. It's really
Because
nice.
it's got that like sweetness at the very beginning, but it's a little more bitter as it goes.
Yeah, becomes bittery, but you can definitely taste the difference from other coffee beans. I would enjoy this particularly if I want to give myself a treat every now and then. It would definitely be my first choice.
Yeah, this is like a dessert coffee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. This is not the coffee you have with your bacon and eggs. This is the coffee you have just coffee by itself.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Salud.
Cheers.